Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your December 2018 mid-month readings. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. Thanks for all your support, feedback, and comments, for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. Thanks to all of my clients out there, both regular and new. You guys keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. And if any of you are interested in a personal private one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and contact details by either clicking on the description bar of any of the videos I post, or you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage. Whoops, she got a jumper. You can go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the little About button. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time is pretty good too, because I do readings full-time 5 to 6 days a week. But of course, during the holiday season, the sooner booked, the better. I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. So if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. I do a wide variety of readings of all different types and lengths in all the main areas of life. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. And that link is also provided with the rest of my contact details. And Instantgo is really good for, especially for fast answers to the quick, easy questions. For the deeper, more intensive readings or complicated, complex issues, traditional readings are probably best. So another option for you to look at. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the air sign of Libra for the middle of December 2018. So we're looking at the remainder of December, the last couple of weeks. If you know your rising and moon sign, watch those videos as well for additional clarification, because general readings, as you know, can always resonate a little differently for everybody. Boy, your cards, Libra. Kind of all over the place today. All right, Libra, we begin with the Ten of Wands, followed by the Page of Pentacles. We have the Chariot, followed by the Ace of Swords. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Nine of Swords. Okay. You had a jumper while I was shuffling, Libra, and if I take jumpers, I don't often get jumper cards, but sometimes I do, or cards that come out. If I take jumpers, if they come out in a clump, I don't, because it's just, you know, a bunch of cards like coming out because I'm shuffling too fast or whatever. But if it's one that came out and it was only one that came out, and it really was a jumper, it leaped right out of my hands and went onto the floor. And I turned it over where it was on the floor to see what position it fell in, and it was in the reverse. And the jumper card was the Star card in reverse, and I feel compelled to attach that to the Nine of Swords as your overall energy, which I don't like seeing, but we're going to get you through it. So your overall energy, Libra, is the Nine of Swords, which I never really like seeing for anybody because it represents a very high level of stress, anxiety, fear, worry, doubt. It might be keeping you up at night. But the positive aspect of the Nine of Swords is that it's somewhat illusionary, meaning that the source, whatever it is that you're thinking about, the source of your fear, anxiety, worry, doubt, fear, etc., might be valid. But the Nine of Swords comes up when you're overthinking it, when you're in fear typically about a future that hasn't even unfolded yet, and you're pre-writing the script for it already. There's only one person that wears that hat. That's God and his crew. God, Spirit, your angels, and guides. Nobody else wears that hat but them. So you're trying to pre-write a script that's based on fear, maybe loss, grief even. And even though you're concerned, whatever it is that you're thinking about might be valid in terms of, because I see a burden here coming to an end, whether it's in career, work, finance area of your life, spiritual life, or your relationship life. This card comes up when you're just going around and around and around in circles and building it up to be worse in your head than is actually reflected in the reality of the situation or environment or relationship. You can see this owl sitting on the windowsill here, and on a tarot card, everything is symbolic. The colors, the patterns, the people, the animals, everything. You can see this owl sitting on this windowsill here. Now, owls are one of those universal symbols for, you know, an answer, solution, wisdom, enlightenment, help, resources, basically insight. But she can't see that owl. Why? Because she's hunched over in this defensive gesture. I almost said defective gesture, kind of defective, because she's just going over and over stuff in it. And every time she goes over it, or it gets bigger and worse and all of that in your head. My heart always goes out to you in this situation, because we've all been here, right? We've all been in those 2 a.m.s, can't get out of your head, sort of issues. But this is like, and because it's usually fear of what's going to happen if this happens in the future, or if this doesn't happen in the future, and trying to like think about everything, and it's too much. And typically there's some kind of insight solution right there in front of you that you're not getting, because all of your energy is like in this stress fear mode. So it's not as big and bad as that, Libra. So this lovely, it's air energy. Swords is thoughts and ideas, which is your energy, Libra. So stop overthinking this. Because it's putting you in this energy which is not good for you. And, I paired the jumper card with it, which is the star in the reverse. This in the upright, this is one of my favorite major arcana cards in the tarot, the star, because it speaks of renewed hope, faith, and optimism, walking in faith, wish fulfillment, knowing that the path that you're on is going to lead to joy and fulfillment, because the Spirit loves you, and that's where they're leading you, as long as you devote yourself 150%. Don't hold yourself back, and just move forward in divine timing and orchestration. Follow your intuitions and instincts, not your fear, because it looks like this overthinking, this circular thinking, this dwelling, obsessing, thinking about it over and over and over again is putting you in a position not only of this negative stress and fear and anxiety, but a loss of faith and hope in the situation being able to be renewed, because in the upright position the star is renewed hope, faith, and optimism. It usually shows up after a period of challenge or trouble or pain or sickness or pain, or whether it's emotional or physical pain, darkness into light, winter into spring, sickness into health. But in the reverse, it's too much fear and anxiety. It's causing you to lose faith in the renewal of a situation or being able to get through a situation. So stop that. It's not that bad. This is like, it's blocking your faith. It's blocking divine spirit from being able to kind of come in and show you. It's not what you have built up in your head to be. And there's some actually beautiful cards here. So we have, and I know from your overall reading that your December reading like ended really well. I just feel like, if you have a tendency to kind of overthink and circular thinking, it has just gotten the best of you around the middle of the month or so with whatever you're facing. Relationship, I think for a lot of you, could be, in your business life or job work, financial life as well. But we have that coming to an end, the 10 of Wands. It's feeling tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, overburdened, but it's at an end. There's a cycle coming to an end, because that's what tens mean in the tarot. Cycles coming to an end, coming to a completion point where you can lay this burden down, stand up, and be free from it once and for all. And the Page of Pentacles, which is just starting to come to a deeper understanding and awareness of what it actually is going to take, and the level of effort and work that it's going to take to actually make something work, knowing that you're kind of at the start of a path, and because the Page of Pentacles is just starting to come to a very concrete understanding and realization of the work that it takes on the path that he's chosen. And that could be why you're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and stressed out. It feels like there is a situation stemming from something that happened, whether it's in job, work, career, your spiritual life, or I think for a lot of you in the relationship life. And in order to move forward from this one way or the other, it's going to take some work. And I feel like you're maybe taking a look at that work, and instead of interpreting it as this is a path I've chosen and I'm going to move forward with this, you're allowing it to kind of get you really stressed out and freaked out and worried, and it's like, oh, it's going to take too long, it's going to be too much work, and I'm too stressed out about this, and kind of losing faith in this new path moving forward, or this reconciliation moving forward, or this healing what was broken moving forward again, instead of focusing on the positives and the potential of it. Because let me clue you into something that I taught my kids growing up. If you're looking at something that you want to achieve, but what's stopping you is the length of time and the effort and the time that it's going to take, because we live in an instant gratification world too, right? Better, faster, easier, more efficient, less time. If what's impeding you or what's getting you down is the time, the effort, but the time, basically, let me tell you something, that time's going to pass anyway. You can't stop it. So if you're looking at something you're hoping to achieve, whether it's healing a broken relationship or a new path of study or going back to school or starting off on a new job or learning path, and you're like, and you're just starting to get what it's going to take, and that's discouraging to you because of the length of time. If it's going to take 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, guess what? That time's going to pass anyway. I mean, unless, a bus hits us and runs us over today, in which case, we don't have to worry about this particular path. But realistically, I mean, that 1 year is going to pass anyway. That 3 years is going to pass anyway. That 5 years is going to pass anyway. You're going to be standing at the other end of that timeline down the road anyway. So what are you going to be? This is about choosing what energy you're going to be in standing at that path. You can be, a year down the road, 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, looking back going, wow, if I had just started then, I'd be done now, or we'd be in this great place now. Or you can be standing down the road a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now going, oh my gosh, that was a long road and I put in a lot of work, but man, look at what I have now. So the time's going to pass anyway, Libra. So quit stressing about what isn't going to happen, what is going to happen, and just go forward as, go forward and just put one foot in front of the other, and stop looking down the road and stop trying to pre-write what's going to happen, because you just don't know. You're being called to operate in faith, to devote yourself to the path and just start putting one foot in front of the other. Do everything that's in front of you to do, your part, your responsibility, what's best, and leave the rest to divine timing and orchestration, which is where it belongs anyway. And I feel like you get this. You get this clue, because at or towards the, get a clue, Libra. I love you, Libra. At or towards the end of December 2018, we have the Chariot and the Ace of Swords. So the Chariot is, in my opinion, the most powerful victory success card, major arcana, in the tarot deck. It's a card of winning and achieving your goals simply by virtue of determination, perseverance, dedication, setting your goals, not losing sight of their goals, not letting anything get in your way. If a problem arises, you problem solve it and you keep on going. You never lose sight of your goals, and that's what the Chariot card represents. Knowing what you want, going after it, doing everything that you need to do that, pulling together all the resources, because that's how you achieve victory moving forward very powerfully. It's clarified by the Ace of Swords. Aces are the number 1, so they represent the start of something new, new potential, new promise, new beginnings. So this is the light bulb. This is the epiphany. This is the new idea, the new information, the seeing something in a different, new perspective, or in an entirely different light altogether. I think at or towards the end of December 2018, you get an idea, a new idea or epiphany, or you're able to put it in the proper perspective, the new and proper perspective that it needs to happen, which really at the end of the day, Libra, is, look, this is what I want. Doesn't really matter how long it takes. That time's going to pass anyway. What am I going to have to show for it at the end of it? I really being in a really great place because of all the work I did, or being in a place of regret because you didn't do it. So it's kind of up to you, Libra, but it looks beautiful. I think this is just like a blip here. You just need to get out of your own head, set your goal, put together what you need to do, and just start putting one foot in front of the other, and don't actually think too far ahead. I know that's tough for you, Libra, but just don't do it. I love the way it ends, but there is some challenging energy here, especially, the overall starting out, I feel, which I don't think is going to continue to the end of the month, especially because your overall December general was so great. And of course, they don't always apply to the same group of people, but I'm still kind of feeling that. So let's just I just want to get one more clarifier about what this stress over the Nine of Swords is. It looks like a path that you've chosen, or how to bring something to an end, and you're like, it's too much effort, it's too much time. Even though you have an idea and a clue of how to do it, there's still this stress about it. But what is it? What is the stress about? A new offer or opportunity of love, of support, an offer of somebody maybe wanting to partner with you in love if it's healing a broken or damaged relationship. And it could be in other areas of your life too, but I don't feel like you're alone in this. The offer may be like not exactly what you want, meaning if there was a rift or something broken, you know, we always want somebody to come and say, yes, it's all done, let's just proceed forward as if nothing's happened. But it takes work to kind of fix things and to move forward and to build and grow things. And I feel like it's that path of work and effort and time that's kind of holding you back for a minute here, because that's what the stress is about. But again, like I said, the time's going to pass anyway, and I feel like it's going to be so worth it if you put in this time and effort. Let's see, if you follow the mindful path, meaning putting in the time and effort, what is the highest potential? What is the most likely outcome if you do this? The mindful path, as I call it. The only other thing I could do, Libra, is get a hammer, reach through the screen, and hit you on the head with it. So I wouldn't do that, really. No, I wouldn't do that. So, I mean, the mindful path, if you do this, the highest potential is the sun, which automatically uplifts, alleviates pressure, energy, restrictions, and brings light, love, warmth, and happiness and healing to a situation on the mindful path, which is kind of getting out of your own way and just going, just doing it. So Libra, that pretty much, and then it ends in success there, okay? So, and beautifully, powerfully, the Chariot, the sun, my goodness, it's gorgeous. So Libra, that pretty much wraps up your kind of intense, but your I think overall spread may have been kind of intense too. This kind of wraps up your overall general reading for the remainder of December 2018. I hope you found it useful and helpful. Again, if any of you would like a more personal, private, one-on-one reading with me, please email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do love and romance, of course, relationship compatibility charting, reconciliation potential, career, work, and finance, investment readings. And I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over a 6 or 12-month period, depending on how far ahead you want to look. And you can do those at any time of the year, but they seem to be particularly popular during this time, the holiday season, as we're approaching the end of one year and going into a new year. And gift readings as well. A lot of people like to purchase personal readings as gifts for friends, family, and loved ones during the holiday season too, so something else for you to consider. So Libra, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the January 2019 beginning of a brand new year readings. And until then, blessings to you for the remainder of this holiday season, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.